Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you all of my makeup hacks that I do every single time I do my makeup. I first like to start off with moisturizing my lips. I'm using the Vaseline Rosy Lips chapstick. I honestly love this so much. So I like to start off with a very clean skin, so make sure you wash your face before doing your makeup so everything lays smoothly. And then I'm going to go in and moisturize my skin with something kind of heavy. This is a vitamin C moisturizer by Banish. This is my most favorite moisturizer at the moment, so if you guys are interested, I'll make sure I'll link it down below in the description box. I like to take a very generous amount of this and put it all over my face. I do this because I don't use any type of primers or anything like that, and this makes your makeup look so smooth. So make sure you get something that's very hydrating and absorbs into your skin very well. And I always take my time with moisturizing my face. I feel like it's the most important part. So make sure just everything is melted and you get every inch of your face. I even like to take it underneath my eyes because I feel like it makes my concealer sit way better on my skin. And don't forget your neck as well, just because we do blend our makeup down our necks, we want everything to match. After we're all moisturized, I like to take a liquid highlighter. This is one of my main secrets that I do every time I do my makeup. So this is by NYX. It's the Born to Glow highlighter. I love doing this underneath my foundation because it really helps to make your skin look super glowy. And I put it under my eyes because it also reflects any light off of your under eyes. So if you have any dark circles or anything like that, this will prevent you from using too much concealer. And then I just make sure I get all the high points on my face. So this is gonna really make your skin look super healthy, especially if you're gonna put foundation on top. And then I just pat everything in to make sure it's fully absorbed into the skin as well, because we don't want anything to lay on top of our skin. We want it to look like a part of our skin, if that makes sense. So now I'm gonna go in with the NYX Born to Glow concealer. I honestly love this concealer so much. So I like using a darker color underneath my foundation just to correct any darkness I have under my eyes. So I just put it on the outer corners and inner corners, and I'll let it sit there for a second while I do my brows. So here I'm using the NYX brow powder. So I just like to dip the brush in the powder just one time, and then I'll put it all in the sparse area, and then the remainder of the product I'll make a line underneath my brow, and I will start blending the line upwards into the rest of the brow. So here I'm not dipping back into the product at all, so this gives me a very natural look. And then I'll brush it through with a spoolie just to make sure my brows look super soft. Then I like to take a damp blending sponge and just blend out the concealer under my eyes. So since we let the concealer sit there for a second, it's going to give really nice coverage without using too much product. And then you guys will be able to instantly see how much of a difference that little step makes. And this is before we put on any foundation at all. Then I like to take the same concealer and just put it on any blemishes or dark spots I have on the rest of my face. But the trick to this part is not blending it out, just letting it sit there, and then you're gonna put the foundation on top of it. And then I'm gonna go in with my favorite foundation by Maybelline. I like to dot it all over my acne scars, which is the place I need the most coverage, and then I'll blend it out to the rest of my face with the sponge. So I really like this foundation because it makes your skin look very skin-like, and it makes it look like you have no makeup on whatsoever. So I love doing this technique with the blending sponge because it really blends it into the skin. And since we focus most of the product on the places that we need coverage, I just like to take the remainder of the product that's on the sponge and blend out the rest of my face. keeping my forehead pretty clear because I feel like the more product you have on your forehead that you don't need, the more cakey you can look. Then I'm going to take a Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I like to take all of the product off of the applicator, and then I'll go in under my brows to clean them up a little bit. So I like using this one because it's a more of a hydrating concealer, so it's easier to blend out. And then I'm going to take a ColourPop concealer. So this is a more pinky undertone. I'm going to do the same thing but add it under my eyes. So for this, it's key to not bring it all the way under your eye. You're going to put it in the middle part of your cheek. So this is a way to brighten up your under eye and prevent creasing. So you want most of your concealer to go in the middle of your face because that's where it's going to reflect the most light, and it's going to make all of your makeup look so seamless. After the concealer under our brows have been sitting there for a little bit, I'm going to take my finger to blend it out. I really love doing this because it really melts the product into the skin and you can barely tell if you have concealer under your brows. And just look how perfect that is. You guys can't even tell I have concealer under there. So now I'm going to blend out the concealer under my eyes. So that one is kind of more of a matte finish, so you don't want it to sit on your face for too long. But since we are letting it sit for a little bit, it's going to give us even more coverage and just even everything out. And it's really important to blend this concealer downwards towards the front of your cheeks and then the sides of your nose to make sure there's not any harsh lines. Then I'm going to take the same concealer that I used under my brows to brighten up the inner corner. So I just put it in the inner corner and that's it. And then I blend the remainder to the rest of my eye. So this really helps to just brighten up the middle of my face and avoid any other creasing as well. As you guys can see, I like to focus on brightening up the middle of my face. I feel like this brings the most attention to your makeup and it gives the illusion that you have really perfect skin. So that's one of my secrets. Now I'm just going to take an e.l.f. setting powder and just take the smallest amount and wipe off the excess and just set right under the eyes. So I don't take this any further than the under eye, and I just use the smallest amount to smooth it out a little bit. And I love this setting powder because it just makes your under eyes look super smooth. Then I like to take a bronzer by Milani. I love this one because it's super natural, and I was feeling the music in the moment. So I focus most of the bronzer on my forehead because my forehead is naturally darker than the rest of my face, and it really helps to blend all of my makeup together without adding too much product once again. I also just love the texture of this bronzer. It really blends into the skin and makes it look like your skin. So it's not powdery or anything like that. It honestly gives you a really nice glow as well. I also love bringing the bronzer and connecting it with my forehead, so I'll bring it all the way down and around my cheeks, all the way to my under eyes in the front, and that's gonna really help blend everything together and make it look like it's just your skin. I also bring it under my chin, and then I'll use the Hoola bronzer. Just a little bit of this goes a long way, just to contour my cheeks just a little bit. So since we already used the other bronzer before this, it's really going to help to blend everything without making it look patchy or muddy on your cheeks. So this is just going to give me a little bit more of a chiseled look, but I only do this on the cheeks. I don't do this anywhere else on my face. Then I like to take a cream blush. So this is by ColourPop, and I'm just going to put this on the tops of my cheeks. So if you put blush on the top of your cheek towards the back, your face is going to have more of a lifted look. So that's why I like focusing most of the blush on the back tops of the cheeks. Since we already put bronzer in the fronts of our cheeks, it's just going to look like the blush is really blended out. So that's also another trick if you guys are looking to have a little cheek lift. I also love using the cream blushes because they look more skin-like. So since we already had a bronzer that was powder, I like using the cream blush to balance that out. Then here I'm just going to take the bronzer once again, the smallest amount, and just contour the bridge of my nose. I focus most of the product right under my brow, and then I'll just blend it down so it really doesn't look like I did anything, but I can tell. Then I like to set everything with this Banish vitamin C spray. It's honestly so good for setting my makeup. It makes everything look so seamless. I'll also link it down below. And then I'll go in with the highlights. It's a duo, so one's a putty and one's a powder highlight, and I love it because it looks like my skin. So I'll go in with the putty one, and what I'll do is I'll pat it on the high points of my face. I won't wipe it. I won't try to blend it out. I'll just pat it. It'll give me the most amount of pigment without making it look powdery. So this is key, guys. Okay, so this might be weird, but I go in with the wet Q-tip with the same highlight and highlight the inner corners of my eyes. I like to use it wet because it really blends into the skin, because I know sometimes the powders can look really, really weird in the middle of your eye like that. So this is a way to blend it into the skin, and I do it on the top and the bottom of the inner corner. And then I like to take a flat brush and go in with a warm toned brown eyeshadow and just line my waterline. So I'm going to add an eyeliner, and I don't like eyeliner that comes too far down my eyes. So I like to smoke out my under eye before I do that. And this helps me not to add too much eyeliner. So I like to just do it on the outer corners and keep the inner corners pretty clean. And I'll just add just enough to create a smoky effect without weighing down my eyes. So now we're gonna go in and do our lips. I love using a clear gloss before I add any type of lip liner or lipstick to my lips, because this really helps me to blend the product into my lips rather than having it sit on top. So I use this to moisturize first to kind of like prime my lips. And then I'll do a lip crayon. I love this one. I think it's by Revlon. It's just a color that kind of complements my natural tone of my lips. So what I do is I just line it on the bottom, just in the middle, and same thing on the top. And I don't line my whole lips at all. I just do this in the middle to make my lips look a little bit more pouty. This really helps me to achieve the lip plumping effect. So if you want your lips to look luscious and a little bit bigger without adding too much to your lips, this is like my secret, you guys. Now I'm just gonna take the same eyeshadow that we put underneath our waterline and just smoke out my eyelid. So I just love doing this to make more of a smoky effect to balance out the eyeliner on the bottom. So I only use a small eyeshadow brush and I'll blend everything only on the lid. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more like this one. And subscribe down below if you are new here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!